Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS producer Sydney Bowles, BNEWS reporters Robert Paris and Chris Flaherty, Peter Brown with the weather, Juliana McGrain with sports, and Gretchen Carey with the community calendar. Thank you for joining us. A committee of town meeting members is looking into the pros and cons of electronic voting at Burlington's 3 annual legislative meetings. If the town moves forward, town meeting members would vote yes, no, or abstain using a small handheld device, much like senators and representatives in the State House and in Congress. Roll call votes would still be held vocally. Proponents of electronic voting argue it could save time and create more transparency about who voted for what, but those opposed to the change say it would cost money and be technically challenging for administrators. The committee was established by town meeting earlier this year, and they have until January to come up with a recommendation on whether or not the town should move forward with the change. Larry Warfield is the husband of town clerk Amy Warfield, and he's also big into statistics. So when he had some questions about how early voting was changing elections in Burlington, he dug right in. According to an analysis shared with BCAT, more than half of all voters cast their ballots early in Burlington's 2024 local election, up significantly from any previous year. And he found early voting was especially popular among older voters. A whopping 78% of voters over the age of 70 voted early in the 2024 local election. Why does this matter, you might ask? Warfield says it's a call for candidates to move up their campaign cycle. If candidates for contested races are waiting until the days before the election day to do their outreach, they're missing the thousands of voters who have already voted by mail and in person at Town Hall. The 2025 local election is coming up in April. Candidates can take out papers to run as soon as January 2nd. You may have noticed flags at half-staff around town this week. That's because of an order from Governor Maura Healey in honor of former State Representative Gloria Lavera Fox, who passed away on November 12th. Fox was elected in 1985 and retired in 2016, making her the longest-serving woman in the House of Representatives. She was remembered as a champion of the disenfranchised, a passionate advocate, and an inspiration for future generations of Black women in politics. The flags will remain lowered until sunset on Tuesday, December 10th. The Planning Board recently approved a new coffee shop for town. Brewed in Burlington is set to move into 271 Cambridge Street, the same plaza as Burlington Jade. Some planning board members worried about parking and about traffic in and out of the small and congested parking lot, but were ultimately swayed by accommodations made by the business owner. Brewed in Burlington plans to offer specialty coffees in a chic-ly style design space, focusing on arts and design. It's not winter in Burlington without the extravagant lights on the town common, and the community gathered this week to witness the inaugural lighting of the trees. Chris Flaherty has the story.
The Yuletide joy was flowing through the town common the evening of December 3rd during the annual tree lighting ceremony, once again put on by Parks and Recreation.
Our maintenance staff does a wonderful job getting the common ready, getting all the lights up and all the decorations, and it really looks awesome out here. Our program team does a great job trying to do something a little different each year. So this year we have a nice slide that we've been waiting to get for a couple years, but always the same visit from Santa. We usually pick Santa up somewhere around the rec department vicinity, and as you know, traditionally Al Fay has brought him down in his fire truck, but Al's right-hand man, Wally DeCoste, also has a fire truck, and he assisted bringing Santa down to the common tonight.
The tree lighting ceremony brings out the best in the community for the holiday season.
It's definitely the community looking to get together and just celebrate a fun evening out on our beautiful common that's well decorated and participate in some of these events, visit some of our sponsors' tables and some of the other community groups that come out, but also get a chance to see fireworks in December. Who doesn't want to see that?
Stay tuned to BCAT for our full coverage of this year's ceremony, hosted by Chris Rose and yours truly. Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNews, wishing you happy holidays.
Another highlight of the winter season is also underway, the People Helping People Wish Tree at the Burlington Mall. Families fill out a form asking for the basics like clothes and shoes, as well as special gifts for children in the home. Those wishes get to put on the wish tree, and shoppers at the mall can pick out a card, purchase a gift, and make a child's holiday wish come true. According to program coordinator Judy Walsh, the wish tree is the biggest it's ever been. There are about 700 wishes for more than 300 children and about 133 families. The wish tree is open at the mall from 11 to 7 Monday through Saturday and 12 to 6 on Sunday. BCAT played host this week to a special gathering, the monthly AM networking session for the Burlington Area Chamber of Commerce. Chamber members connected and learned about BCAT's production facilities, hands-on training, and volunteer opportunities, and of course enjoyed coffee and pastries from Chamber members. We were glad to host them. The Middlesex County Sheriff's Office is warning of a common scam involving people posing as law enforcement officers. We go through this every year. The officer receives calls his office receives calls almost daily from residents targeted over the phone by scammers pretending to be members of the sheriff's office or other law enforcement agencies and demanding money for failing to pay taxes or show up for jury duty. Sheriff Katusian reminded residents that a genuine law enforcement agency will never contact you over the phone to pay non-existent fees, will never request you to pay fines using unconventional methods like gift cards. It will never ask for your bank account information or social security number. If you believe you've been targeted by a scam, you're encouraged to call your local police office or the sheriff's office immediately. Two plays are debuting in the coming days on the same stage, both at Burlington High School. Robert Paris takes us behind the scenes.
It's back-to-back productions for the BHS Performing Arts Department as they prepare for 2 opening nights.
We're doing a production of The Lottery, Shirley Jackson's The Lottery, and a production of Steel Magnolias, a trimmed-down one-act version of both plays. We needed a production for the one-act play festival in March, and we didn't want to just take 6 actors in a 6-person all-female cast show of Steel Magnolias, so we decided to do 2 shows. The Lottery has an adjustable cast. We can make it as big or as small as we needed to fill out. Everyone who auditioned can have a part. So that's why we ended up with 2 shows.
With 2 one-act productions rehearsing simultaneously, the crew is working double duty to get the sets complete.
A little busy around here lately. There are a lot of different moving pieces, as you said, with the lighting and the sets being built. Luckily, we have a really talented crew of students. As you can see, they've taken ownership of the lighting and they're doing it all on their own. So it's a lot, but I'm confident it will all get done.
I spoke to some of the stars of the production.
My role is Truby Jones. She is a very kind of salt-of-the-earth, middle-aged hairdresser. She's played by Dolly Parton in the movie Steel Magnolias. And she's very kind of down to earth. She speaks very candidly about situations, and she ultimately is very kind, and she really wants the best for everybody.
So I'm playing the role of Malin, and she's the mother of Shelby. Shelby has diabetes, and basically a big part of the show is Malin coping with Shelby's diabetes and persevering from that, and it especially gets difficult once Shelby passes away, and I think that's a big part of her role.
So in Steel Magnolias, I'm Clarie. My husband passed away, and he was the mayor, and so I'm just hanging out as a rich old widow.
I'm Weezer. I'm an old lady. I'm very pessimistic in my point of view. It kind of juxtaposes the other characters because a lot of them are really happy.
The curtains rise on December 12th at 7 p.m. and December 15th at 2 p.m.
I guess collectively, I just hope they see how talented our students are and how hard they've been working. The shows are very different in and of themselves, and there's certainly different messages from each one, but just the dedication and the talent of our students, I think that's the most important takeaway for me, at least.
From the Fogelberg Auditorium, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
Burlington is full of writers of children's books and autobiographies and science fiction and all kinds of things. A new writer joins their ranks, this time with a biography of someone in her own family. Sydney Bowles has more.
Joan Pash is a talented embroiderer. I met up with her at the Council on Aging's craft circle, the Knitwits. But Joan's skill extends beyond needlework. She's written a book, Prairie Wife, a fictionalized biography of her great-grandmother.
She had a kind of tragic life in part of her life, and so people kind of were hesitant to even think about her or talk about her in my family. And I had gotten interested in genealogy and learned about a lot of the different ancestors, and I thought that she needed someone to speak for her.
Joan kindly took a moment to talk to me about the book.
It took me 1 year to write Prairie Wife, working 6 hours a day for the whole year. Because, if you didn't feel like writing, you could do the research. I'm not going to do any other book, but it was a huge amount of work. But it was a labor of love, and I'm really glad that I did it.
Prairie Wife by Joan Pash is available at many online retailers.
I did the very best I could, but the main thing was that it was healing for our family. That was really important to me.
For BNEWS Weekly, I'm Sydney Bowles.
A new season of winter sports is gearing up at Burlington High School. Let's turn to Juliana for more.
Hey everyone, I'm Juliana McGrain, and this is your weekly sports report. What's Thanksgiving without a little football? The Red Devils were on the road for the holiday this year. Let's go to the highlights.
The rain was pouring on the Thanksgiving holiday, as for the fourth time, the rivalry of Bedford and Burlington met on the turf. The Bedford Buccaneers got off to a hot start with 2 touchdowns, keeping the Devils scoreless 14-0. Burlington wasn't going down without a fight, as quarterback Anthony Guerrier had 2 passing touchdowns. First was a 68-yard pass to Drew Garvey, and then a 55-yard pass to Ryan Brooks. After the first score, the extra point by Arthur DeBarros was blocked. The Devils attempted to go for a 2-point conversion to tie up the game, but were unsuccessful, 14-12. This was the last time Burlington scored. Bedford took over the game from there, as it scored 2 more touchdowns before the day's end. 20-12 was the final, Buccaneers.
Burlington finished the year at 8-3 and were the Middlesex League Freedom Division champs. Anthony Guerrier and Ryan Brooks also earned recognition in the Middlesex League All-Conference. In his senior year, Guerrier had more than 2,000 passing yards, 32 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 5 rushing touchdowns, and over 300 rushing yards. He also now has made 2 school records for passing yards and passing touchdowns. Ryan Brooks also broke the school record for receiving yards and touchdowns in a single season. He got over 1,000 yards and 15 touchdowns. 11 seniors are graduating from the team next spring. In other football news, the Shawshene Rams head to Gillette Stadium for the Division V Super Bowl on December 6th. They face off against the Foxborough Warriors. Shawshene finished the regular season undefeated at a 12-0, while their opponent finished at 5-4. We want to wish the best of luck to the athletes. You can watch the big game on Friday at 5:30 on the Patriots YouTube channel. The Lady Devils cheerleading team came in 4th place at the state championship with a score of 89.5. Congratulations on a great season. The winter sports team have started practicing here at BHS. For more info, we go to BNews sports reporter Robert Paris.
With practices back in full swing for the winter sports teams, 2 new coaches are stepping up to the plate. Danielle Cavino for girls track and Neil Rebello for girls basketball.
I'm not looking to change a ton of stuff this first year. I want to keep it similar with the girls. I know the girls, which is great, and kind of just get our feet wet with me being the head coach, and then kind of, as the years go on, kind of look at like what I want to change into making it my own team.
We're looking for great effort day in and day out, and I really feel like I'm going to get that, and I think we'll have an exciting style of basketball. We get up and down, we like to shoot it, defending's the big piece. If we can defend the way I know we can, the way I've seen them defend from filming last year and then just kind of watching us through Fall League, and I think we could be a team to be reckoned with.
The wrestling team is starting off fresh after a disappointing season last year. Head coach Paul Schwartzman said the future is looking bright.
And during last year, we kind of struggled. It was one of our worst years, but we knew we had a great middle school team coming up. They won, youth sectionals and were right there for a youth state title. So they kind of replenished the program. We got 20 guys in here. I think more than half of them are freshmen, so the future's definitely bright.
The boys track team was undefeated last year. Head coach Matt Carr said the start of the schedule will be a challenge.
Right now, we're just working through a new roster. We have about 100 kids out. 30 of them are brand new, first time to track. We also are down a coach, so sort of it's bit by bit, piece by piece, working with the new kids, figuring out where they're going to plug in and getting ready for our first meet. We open with Melrose, and in our league, basically it's Melrose, Wakefield, and us. So to open with one of the big meets means we have to be ready from the get-go if we're going to continue the undefeated streak.
After getting shut out in the first round of the playoffs by Hingham last season, boys hockey is looking for new ways to improve the team under the direction of Bobby Conceition.
We have a lot back, and we're really excited to get going. Obviously, the first job is to pick the team, but we've seen a lot of our older guys have put in a lot of work in the offseason, and there's some promising new guys as well. And I think we're gonna work hard every day to get better, and hopefully have a successful year.
Boys basketball will try to get back to the playoffs this year after a loss to Mansfield in the second round. They will be doing it without star Cedric Rodriguez, who are among the many that graduated this past spring.
It's a completely different team for us. We were so reliant on Cedric for the past 2 years. Into 3 years, he's just been an amazing player. He's a once-in-a-lifetime player. We're certainly going to miss him, but I think we have a little more depth this year. Typically, we've only had 5 or 6 guys that I feel confident putting in the game. These guys have really worked hard. They've taken on the challenge to say that, Burlington's going to be down, the run's over, we're going to be down, we lost all these guys. I feel like they've taken on the challenge in the offseason, and they're excited to prove that they're ready to step up and try to continue, the success we've had.
And finally, after finishing 6-1, girls gymnastics graduated 7 seniors.
It is definitely a rebuilding year for us. Losing 5 competitors out of a 7-person lineup is definitely going to be tough to fill, but we have some great seniors and we have some returning underclassmen and some freshmen that we're looking forward to meeting and working with.
Stay tuned to BNEWS to see how the season unfolds. I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Sports.
So for more Red Devil action, check out our sports section at bcattv.org/sports and follow us at X at BNews Sports. That's all for this week. I'm Juliana Grain. Back to you guys in the studio.
It's been pretty obvious for the last few days now that winter is truly upon us. Let's turn it over to Peter Brown for a look at what's in store for the weather, and stay tuned for your community calendar with Gretchen Carey.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown with Look at Your Weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading in towards the middle of December. I know we are now officially in meteorological winter. Astronomical winter will be starting in just a few weeks from now. So we are definitely getting into the real meat and potatoes, so to say, of the cold weather season here in the Burlington area. And starting on a period on Friday, we are going to be seeing some very chilly temperatures out there. I'm going to be pretty conservative with the temperatures here and say that I don't think we're going to be making it out of the upper 20s on Friday with a stiff wind. You are going to need to bundle up. It is going to feel frigid out there on Friday. As we get towards the end of the period, temperatures at this time of the year as we head in towards the middle of December should only be in the low to mid 40s. That's probably where we're going to end up. It looks like we're going to start cooling off again, though, as we get towards the latter portion of the next work week. And we're also going to have to keep an eye on a developing ocean storm that we think is going to be passing to the south and east of New England. But again, yes, we are at that time of the year again where we have to start looking at those nor'easters around New England. Whether we like it or not, they are here to stay. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us in terms of temperatures and precipitation in the Burlington area over the next 7 to 10 days. Looking at our temperature map, they're calling for us to have a chance of above average temperatures. Now, I think that's probably going to be true as we start out the work week. Looks like our temperature is going to rise up into the maybe mid-50s, so it's going to feel pretty pleasant out there again. But thereafter, it looks like it's going to kind of tail off again. It's definitely going to start out very cold to start out your weekend. As we look at our precipitation chances, they are calling for us to have above average precipitation. We have been chipping away at those droughts out there in the Burlington area, which is really good. We're not all the way there back. We haven't recouped all of that missing rain that we didn't see over the late summer and all of the fall, so we still have a little ways to go, but we are getting there. So just go ahead, let's take a look at those 7 days of weather coming up. And again, starting out our period on Friday, starting out that weekend, going out there doing any shopping this weekend, it is going to be very chilly, especially Friday and Saturday. Temperatures Friday again, struggling to get out of the 20s. And of course, struggling to get it to freezing again on Saturday. So a real midwinter feel to the air out there. As we get into Sunday, our temperature is going to moderate a little bit. The airflow is going to start coming in from the southwest. Temperatures are going to get up into hopefully the mid-40s, so not too bad out there. Looks like our rain chances come back in as you start back out the work week again. Temperatures rising, though, up to near 50 on Monday and into the mid-50s by Tuesday. Thereafter, again, a cold front's going to come through, drag down some more seasonable air into the Burlington area by Wednesday. And again, on Thursday, we are going to be keeping an eye on a pesky storm that we think is going to be staying to the south and east of the Cape and the islands. So it doesn't look like it's going to be a problem for us right now, but we just have to bear in mind that it may be close enough to throw some clouds or maybe some light snow showers in here, as temperatures are going to be in the upper 30s, so pretty chilly out there. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your Community Calendar. On Sundays from December 8th through the 29th from 1:30 to 3:30, the Burlington Public Library will be showing holiday favorites. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. On December 12th and 15th, the Burlington Performing Arts Department will be having 2 one-act plays from Steel Magnolias and The Lottery. For more information and tickets, go to the following website. On December 14th from 2 to 5 p.m., the Ahern Family Charitable Foundation will host its 21st annual Army-Navy Football Luncheon fundraiser at the Scoreboard Sports Bar and Grill in Woburn. For more information, go to the following website. For more community calendar events, go to bcattv.org, burlingtonpubliclibrary.org, and burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your Community Calendar.
As we do each week, we're finishing up with a photo sent in by a member of the community. Mary Leach sent this one in, and it looks to me like it's the last vestiges of fall holding on for dear life. Thank you, Mary. If you have a photo you'd like to see featured here, email it to us at bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. That's our program for this week. A final reminder before we go. In this season of giving, there are plenty of local nonprofits who would appreciate your support. Among them, People Helping People, We Care, Help Us, and more. A full list is available on our website. Thank you as always for tuning in. I'm Phil Gallagher, and I'll see you again here next week.